In this lesson, we'll begin building control objects, and the first one we'll create will be the character's global control. So in the scene, I've refined the character's deformations. I'd like to also point out that if you're ever having trouble weight painting, you could always add a few keyframes. That I find is a great way to kind of get into some tighter areas and weight paint, and we could also use that to check our progress. To give you an example of this, if we were to turn on auto key, we can go to frame 20, and then we can grab one of the bones that we'd like to pose, so we could start to weight paint. So from here, we could always go ahead and rotate the shin back, and here's what this does. Again, it's a way of taking a look at where our deformations are, and then we can start to kind of get to different poses and weight paint. So if we notice that it's kind of tough to add some weighting to some areas that are really tough to get to because they're very tight, we could always go ahead and scrub forward in time to get to a moment before that pose and use that as a way to fix those trouble spots. And then what you'd want to do is make sure that you get back to frame 0 so you can move back to your skin pose. You'd go ahead and select the object that you've animated, and then you'd simply go ahead and Alt right click and choose delete selected animation to clear all keyframe data off that bone. Alright, so I just wanted to go ahead and show you that. And by the way, just FYI, if you'd like to, let's say, move to any frame on the track bar, you could always go ahead and use the hotkey Control Alt, then you can go ahead and drag with the left mouse button to move your start time, or your end time is tweaked with the right mouse button. Again, holding down that button combination of Control Alt. Alright, so I'm going to now turn off auto key, and let's go ahead and build a control. What we'll do is go ahead and work with a line shape. So underneath the create panel, we'll go to shapes and we'll create a line. From here, let's go ahead and turn on snapping. And what we'll do is create a triangle. Now what this does is it gives us direction, so we always know what direction the character is facing. So we'll just go in and create our triangle. Beautiful, and we'll have it connect right back to our start point, and we'll choose yes to close the spline. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at this shape. It looks like this point here can be brought in a bit more. So I'm going to right click to exit the line tool. I'll go to the modify panel and click on the line so we can get to our vertex of object level. From here, we'll go ahead and marquee select that point, grab our move tool, and we could always go ahead and just snap it to fix its shape, so we have an even shape. Alright, great. So from here, let's go ahead and press the S key to turn off snapping. We'll go ahead and grab that object, and we'll go ahead and rename it to anim underscore global 01. So for all control objects, we can use the prefix anim, so it's very clear as to what the object is used for. Now what I'd like to do is go ahead and reset its X form. Let's go to our Utilities tab. Let's go ahead and reset it. And then we can go ahead and collapse it using the first choice, modifier stack result, so it's still a spline. Great. We're using a spline because by default it does not render, so it's ideal for animation. We can go to our modify panel now, and underneath rendering, take a look, we can go ahead and choose enable and viewport, and that will add some thickness to this object. And then it's just a matter of choosing the color you'd like to work with. So for the center, I like to stick with a color of gold, so any shade of yellow, let's say. And then for our right and left sides, we can work with, let's say, blue and green. So blue for our character's left side and green for the right side. But it's whatever you'd like to work with. I'd just recommend that you would stick with whatever color scheme works for you, and don't deviate from that, because then that starts to kind of add a confusion to your control rigs. So you just want to be really consistent with what you choose, because that's just going to help other animators figure out how your rig works and what each control does. All right, beautiful. So we have our global control in place. It needs to control something. So here's what we'll do. We'll head over to Tools. We'll go to Manage Layers, and let's go ahead and hide our model because we're going to want to take our root, and we're going to want to have that linked over to our global control. So now this actually starts to control something. We can go ahead and grab that control, and we could start to scale and take a look. We can now resize our character from its base. So if I were to go ahead and bring back the model, go ahead and freeze it down, and see now we have this great way to not only resize the character, but we can reorient the character and we can reposition it wherever we'd like. Fantastic. All right, so once we have gone ahead and linked our root, what we need to make sure we do is that we go in and freeze its transforms. We've already done that before, but now that we've linked it to another object that is offset from its position, we want to make sure that when we go ahead and set the transforms back to 0 on this bone, that it will remain in this position. So with it selected, the root, we'll go ahead and Alt-right click and choose Freeze Transform. And then we'll go ahead and choose Yes. Beautiful stuff. All right, so we've managed to create a global control. Very nice. Let's go ahead and make sure that we have frozen its transforms, and we'll also go ahead and add it to a layer. So with it selected, we'll go ahead and create a new layer. You can see that when we create a layer from a layer that we already had selected, 3ds Max is going to use the same settings as that layer. So right now, our global control is hidden and it's also frozen. So I'm going to go ahead and unfreeze it and unhide it, and I'll make sure the default layer is active. Then we'll go to our new layer and we'll name it Controls. Beautiful stuff. So all of our animation controls can get stored here. Well, that's going to be it for this lesson. Feel free to bring your model back, and in the next lesson, we're ready to start creating controls for the character's torso.